It's a really intense name for a pencil company.
Ticonderoga?
Yeah, now you know why they named the fort after it.
But that's the wait, but no, the fort.
This fort will withstand many a blast, many a cannon blast. Is the strength of many pencils strung together.
Nothing has the strength like a number 2 Ticonderoga.
Oh dear! But they all went missing, as a mystery. Nobody knows what happened to Fort Ticonderoga. Look it up. Okay. And welcome to another episode of Dos Cinco's. This is episode number 79. This week, we review Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. But before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
I'm Ben.
Guys, before we get into the movie of the week this week, did you guys see anything else interesting besides Tom Clancy's Without Remorse? Stu, we'll start with you. Any cool cartoons? Because I want to get that out of the way before we start talking about Ben's. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what qualifies as a cool cartoon, but
anything that wasn't anything Ben would watch.
Rugrats, Doug,
non-animated.
Pepper Ann.
No. Well, you know what? I did watch a few things, but watch is kind of a strong word. I just kind of had them on. I will say this though, and I know I can expand on it later. Well, no, I'll talk about it later. But no, okay. I don't think I watched anything particularly interesting.
All right, here's a part where we are obligated to ask Ben, what did you watch?
Welcome to Ben's Corner, the best part of the show with your host, Ben. Now the other two hosts will exit. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right. Today, I binge-watched all of Invincible. It was really cool. I really like it. And I also did not know it had the same producers as The Boys, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And Seth Rogen was in it. And yeah, I highly suggest you check it out. It's very, very brutal. It's really funny and it is action-packed.
So kind of like The Boys.
No, yeah, it is like The Boys, except animated. And it does have a really impressive voice cast, like really impressive. So yeah, if you have time, check it out. I mean, after the slew of Marvel shows that we watched, having this show as a superhero show, along the hour-long episode mark, this one was pretty satisfactory. It felt good watching all of it, and the ending, man, that was a damn ending, and that was a damn first episode. So yeah, check it out.
Right.
And of course, if you guys are listening to what.
Before Ben spoils anything, just stop talking. So
yeah, I was gonna say if you're listening to our podcast, you have time to watch. Okay, Ben, what was your movie this week that you guys picked?
Oh man, it's also a cartoon, David. Isn't this great? This is everything you wanted out of life.
This has been like 4 years
mine's
old.
A specific genre.
5.
It's not just
anyway.
Go ahead.
Everything Ben's life revolves around cartoons.
It does. I never grew out of it. Every Saturday morning, it's Fox Kids. Guess what? It's still on. I got the tapes. I just keep watching them. Power Rangers ain't never going to end. I'll never find out what happens to Rita Repulsa. I got to watch this movie that came out last Friday on Netflix called The Mitchells versus the Machines. And this movie...
How is it?
Well, damn. I think this was, out of all the animated movies that we watched this past year during lockdown, this was by far the best one.
Is this
better than Onward?
Anime movie or a Western animated movie?
It's like Pixar-ish.
What, Pixar?
It's by the same people that did Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Is it the same animation style as Spider-Verse?
I would say that you know how Spider-Verse is pretty flashy. It has a lot of pizzazz to it.
Yeah,
this one is even more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so which is kind of weird.
You say that, and it makes me think 2 seconds of first-person camera will make you nauseated, but then something as over-the-top flashy as that, you're fine with.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just first person. I can't do the Doom movie. I can't do Hardcore Henry. I can't do fucking, the Blair Witch Project? I just can't do it. I don't know.
But strobe effects and bright lights and stuff, no problem for Ben.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, flash me over and over again. That's what Ben says.
Well, actually, going back to that movie in the Earth, that I actually had to look down for that because that was way too much flashing.
Okay, I mean, there is a limit. Apparently,
I also looked away at that point, not because I was afraid I was going to go into a seizure, but it's like, what are you showing me? Like,
it's really
this doesn't. My brain can't process all this. This is dumb.
Yeah,
okay,
look
I
how
think that's
sophisticated we are. Oh.
You just don't understand the deeper message.
Get it.
It's odd.
But going back to Mitchells and Machines, like it was really fucking funny. Like I don't think I've laughed that hard in a pretty long time. Like, even though it's like a family animated film, like damn, it had some pretty dark jokes, So if you want, check it out. It's on Netflix now.
I was planning on checking that out.
I didn't even see anything about it, but Ben did remind me of something I'm pretty excited about.
Oh,
that is coming up. Let's see, when is it coming up?
May 7th.
Yeah, are you already jumping ahead of me? Are you spoiling it for me?
Yes.
No,
I think you are, David.
Am I?
You are.
Is it Jason Statham?
Oh no.
Oh.
But something on Netflix I'm really excited for coming up in May 14th is Love, Death, and Robots Volume 2.
Wait, is that already coming out?
Yep, May 14th, baby.
Man, I thought it was like coming out in like, I don't know, a year. I saw the trailer for it like a little while ago. I'm like, oh,
that was
cool.
a year ago, Ben.
Wait, was that really?
I don't know.
No,
If I never leave my house, technically the day's never over. So
don't
when
say
is
that.
it actually?
I've lost an entire year.
What year is it?
Super stoked for that because I really liked the first volume.
Damn.
The next week after that is the one I'm excited about, Army of the Dead.
Ooh.
I've saw things about that like 2 years ago, and I've been wondering like when it's coming out. Because I follow like Chris D'Elia on Instagram and stuff, and like he was like posting all the stuff about when he was filming it. So I'm like, okay, cool. When's it coming out? And then it just disappeared.
Oh, is Chris D'Elia still in it?
Oh God, I hope they didn't cut him out. God damn it.
I vaguely remember him losing something this past year, and I don't know if it was Army of the Dead.
His mind.
But they already filmed it.
No, because I remember like he was in something, and they replaced him with just a random act or a random comedian. So they just like turn every scene he's supposed to be in. They just turn off camera, and there's just some other actor by himself. CGI Hannibal Buress shows up.
Yes,
I wouldn't be mad at that.
CGI out Chris D'Elia, and then
just like Hannibal Buress over him.
Clearly, the establishing shot is like this white guy, jacked white guy, and then they zoom into his reaction shot, and it's just Hannibal Buress.
Not even like in the same like outfit or anything, but just like doing his
polo and his
just
glasses.
doing like his like he's like leaned back, kind of like high looking, resting high face. I'd be okay with
the
that.
next couple of weeks are actually gonna be pretty decent. Some big movies coming out. I don't know how big, but Wrath of Man, which is the Jason Statham with Guy Ritchie directing. The week after, we have a Chris Rock movie, Spiral, and then Angelina Jolie. I haven't remembered the last time she released a movie. Those Who Wish Me Dead. Following week after that, which is May 21st, and then Army of the Dead. May 28th to round out the rest of May is Cruella and A Quiet Place Part 2.
Finally, God,
yeah,
I've been waiting for that movie forever.
They've been teasing that for a good while. Actually, Ben, the reason I didn't watch the Machines was actually I caught up with Raya and the Last Dragon.
How'd you like that?
It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. It sucked. Apparently.
It was okay. I think I would, if I had to give it a rating, I would probably give it about 5.5 or 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that sounds
only reason why is I feel like Awkwafina is getting the same treatment that Amy Schumer kind of got, which was, hey, this is like the hot new like female comedian.
You're supposed to like them.
Yeah, exactly. They jam it. I'm like, she was good in Ocean's 8. She was good in Crazy Rich Asians. She was really good in The Reunion. And then I was just like, okay, I think
Wait,
I've
what's
had
the
enough
reunion?
Aquafina recently. And then all of a sudden it's just like bam, 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 all over the place, like TV shows and this movie. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. The fact that you're telling me that I have to like her makes me kind of not like her as much as I used to.
Man, I feel like I'm on like the opposite end of the spectrum because I do really enjoy
want
stuff
more
with
Aquafina?
in it. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like she kind of elevates everything. Like Raya and the Last Dragon was like, it was all right. But like the parts I liked featured Aquafina. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's one of those movies that maybe it'll grow on you once I've kind of gotten the overwhelming pungent taste of lots of Aquafina out of my mouth, I guess.
No, I mean, I kind of agree. Like Raya and the Last Dragon wasn't
guys,
that great.
we're gonna lose our Aquafina sponsorship. We gotta we gotta clarify.
It's okay. I got Crystal Geyser. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Crystal
Guys,
Geyser. I won't drink that fucking malaria-ridden
well,
mud
then
water.
next time you figure out our
Arrowhead, baby.
It was that or Dasani.
Whoa. No, this is a Dasani stream.
The battle of the water.
Actually, I think Joe is our biggest. Would say Calistoga. Actually,
I've never even seen that.
You haven't seen it,
Where do you get that fucking Safeway? Like, I don't even know.
What the fuck is Calistoga? I thought that was just his D&D character.
No, that was like water brand. That's where you got it from. You looked down.
No, it's not.
Shut up. Stop it.
I'm serious. You ask him. All right, just ask him. All right,
is this
that's
like
enough of that.
Shopper's Choice water or something?
I know.
Can you imagine? My character's name is Safeway Choice.
Again, what's the Nestle one? Is it just called Nestle?
Nestle brand. Yeah. So yeah, there's some pretty good stuff that's coming out. I mean, we also got a drop of the newest trailer for the Eternals.
Ooh, well, I mean, it was like 2 seconds, literally.
I mean, yes, and also Rick and Morty. That wasn't 2 seconds.
Okay, that wasn't. Yeah.
Whew, I saved it. Shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay. Anything else, guys, before we go ahead and jump over to the box office rundown?
There is a water bottle company called Naya, and it could have been Naya.
Naya and the Last Dragon.
Starring Aquafina and some other water bottle actor or actress.
People of the of our podcast, if you're listening, suggest another name. That would have been great. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump over to our box office rundown. Stu, I'll let you guess what the number one movie in America this week is.
Not Without Remorse.
But that was specifically only on Amazon Prime, so no, it is not. Nobody would ever guess that it was Demon Slayer's Mugen Train. Number one movie in America.
Ooh.
Ben, you're the one who your $12 is in there. Right,
I know, and I only got maybe like $4 worth of entertainment out of it because I fell asleep partway through.
Clearly, the Cinco's bump from Ben, the Cinco's army, like followed along with Ben and went to go see the movie and says it can't be that bad, and now it's number one in America. Thank you.
So, are you saying if we look at our Spotify analytics and we look at the demographics of who's listening to us, it's oh my god, it's 90% weebs.
Yeah, it's like
number
Ben,
2
and that's it.
That's 90%.
Actually, it's crazy. We have 20 subscribers on YouTube, but I don't. Wow. I thought I could only count maybe on 2 hands, and I'm like, that's 10. Where's the other 20?
Yeah. I don't know if you're saying that as like you're impressed by it or.
I am impressed. Good job, guys. Congratulations. All right, and number 2 in America, down from number 1, is Mortal Kombat. Number 3, holding strong, is Godzilla versus Hong Kong. Number 4, Separation. Number 5, Raya and the Last Dragon with 1.3 million. Number 6, down from number 4, is Nobody. Number 7, The Unholy. Number 8 is a re-release, the 10th anniversary of Scott Pilgrim and the World versus the World. Number 9, Tom and Jerry. And number 10, Together. Guys, any thoughts? Surprises, Ben? Okay, can you tell me why this week, the second week, all of a sudden Mugen Train stayed at now moved up to number 1?
I don't have any insight on this. I mean, it's a limited release movie. That's all I got.
Series?
I guess so, yeah. It's a very, very popular series. I mean, in Japan, this movie took number 1, like, of all time. that's beating out Spirited Away, which, you know, was their bread and butter for a very, very long time.
We've been holding on to this movie for a long time. Nothing's ever going to unseat it.
Well, I mean, you know, like, what was it? For America, it was Avatar for a very long time, right?
And
then
that was only because it introduced, like, actual 3D people watched, right?
I guess. I mean, well, actually, I think it's number one again because they did a re-release in China, and it gave it, like, that small bump it needed. But I can't remember.
Think of it, James Cameron. It's Titanic, but in space. No, it's not.
I mean, I'm going to watch it regardless. You tell me
that was the tagline. Literally, they're like, "It's Titanic in space," and he's like, "It has nothing to do with boats or ships or anything."
I mean, I think the main selling point is James Cameron. I mean, you could slap James Cameron on anything and it'll sell. Like James Cameron's Avatar, James Cameron's anal lube, James Cameron's anal lube with AIDS. Like it will all sell.
Okay. All right. No other thoughts on this, guys? We'll go ahead and jump over to our movie of the week this week. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Stu, would you like to do the honors?
But I just did it last week.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, fine. John Kelly, elite American Special Forces operator, is betrayed by his country when or is it his country? You don't know yet until the end of the movie. But he's betrayed by someone when they kill his team and then his family. And he's out for revenge. Teaming up with his longtime friend. I don't know her name, but her name's Greer. She's taking the place of Greer in this movie. They seek out... and the CIA guy, Ritter. He's there too. And they go on an adventure to solve the mystery of who killed his family without remorse.
Okay. Thank you, Stu. Ben, what were your thoughts on this movie?
I was very meh on it. I mean,
are you familiar with the I guess the source material,
the Clancy verse?
I am not. Mm-hmm. I know that Tom Clancy's name is also just slapped onto a lot of things. So I know that there's a lot that I'm missing here.
Tom Clancy's The Wedding.
Tom Clancy's
Valentine's Day. The Hangover. Okay, so going into it, not knowing who these characters are, Ben, what was your initial impression?
You know, I thought that they gave the audience a lot with what to run with, even though you might not be familiar with all of Tom Clancy's other properties, right? But it, I really did want to like this movie. It's like, I really like Michael B. Jordan. Anything with Michael B. Jordan is like, just fill me that bowl. Just make it up. Oh my God. And let me tell you about the shirt. Oh my God. We'll get to
shirtless. He's so hot right now.
No, I mean, just looking at, man, his arms. It's just like, oh my gosh. Man, I mean, if I were to let even, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I don't know. There were only like I feel like he deserves.
Ben, your
better.
Corner was like 10 minutes ago that way. Okay, should have saved that for your moment over there.
I think there were only like really a handful of scenes that I could really recount thinking like, hey, that's pretty cool. Otherwise, I found most of it like kind of forgettable. I think the action scenes weren't at all that great. Like, it was often just like shootouts with Michael B. Jordan kind of taking cover and him like scampering onto the next area or like to the exit or the device that would save him from that particular moment or something. But what I did really like about, or what scenes I did like, were his revenge plot scenes, you know, like him, you know, without remorse, you know. But even then, there was only like 3 scenes that really had that. You know, I thought there was going to be a lot more. I thought after the first one, it was like, all right, you know, we're getting somewhere. And then we got into this whole conspiracy plot, and I don't think it really meshed that well with what MBJ brought to the table. It was, it felt kind of flimsy, dry, and without entertainment.
Okay,
you say it all that with remorse.
A 4 out of 10 without
with remorse,
without hesitation.
no surrender, no man left behind.
Okay. Stu, you're familiar with the source material. How much do you know about?
Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna pat myself on the back here as we enter a new segment I like to call Stuart read a book. I actually, yay! Leading up
19
to
more before you get that in and out certificate.
oh, man, I'm gonna go to the Scholastic store. I'm gonna get some Goosebumps.
I'm so glad you guys know what
poster.
that is.
I'm gonna. But okay, so leading up to this movie, I was like, I was talking to Thomas about this one night. I was like, I should read that book because it's kind of like the first book, yeah, kind of like the origin story for a lot of the offshoots of Tom Clancy, the Clancy verse. So I actually read this book, and actually, like I was so adamant on finishing the book before I read the movie or saw the movie, so that I can be one of those people who went, well, actually, the book was much better.
And
and it was, but I think, and I don't know, maybe I've learned a little bit more about how people try to make movies out of books or adapt books to movies and stuff. But I stayed up to like 3 a.m. last night trying to finish the book, and I did. And then I watched the movie today. So, having said all that, I feel like this movie was kind of watered down for general consumption. Because the book is much darker. There's a lot more adult or mature themes involved. There was no, and kind of spoilers, there was no kind of conspiracy plot, which I felt like in this movie did a disservice to the main story of John Kelly and his revenge.
Wait, so the conspiracy plot in this movie was something added specifically for this movie?
Yes.
Huh, okay.
So there are things in this movie. So for one, I'll do spoilers later, but just based on I feel like the service was that to this trying to make this into a movie was trying to force this kind of conspiracy plot into it, and then also I feel like this would have been served better as a series than a movie because there's too much to try to set up and kind of try to like relate to to try to do it in an hour and a half or hour and 40 minutes.
If we were to split your review, like score into two, one is accuracy to the source material, what would you give it?
Accuracy to the source material is like a 2. 1.
Okay, so the only thing that they got right was the names.
I'll give it a 2 because there were a couple of things that were actually. Okay. I'll give it a 2. Yeah.
Okay.
1 would be if it was only names. That was the same. But I'll give it 2, and I'll elaborate later. But so it's a 2 as far as keeping it true to the book.
Okay.
Which I don't think anyone can necessarily expect any movie to be.
Oh, yeah, it's too much
that
material.
True to the book. Right.
Yeah.
That's why I said it should be a series. But
what about if it was in terms of kind of translating the interest? Like if you read the book, would you be interested in seeing a sequel after, reading the book and see where they go from this, knowing that they added a plot device that wasn't already built into the actual source material?
I think I would, just because of what they're actually kind of alluded to at the end of the movie. I would like to see more, just because I think that would be even more entertaining. But I think like that plot device, the little subterfuge there they had it's kind of one off, done, like nobody cares anymore. But as far as just an overall movie, I'm kind of with Ben too. It's like it was okay, it wasn't great.
Okay. In relation to the other Tom Clancy movies, the ones with a Jack Ryan, how did those? Have you seen those other ones?
I have, not in a while, but I don't know enough about the movies, the books they're based on to critique them like this.
But in terms of like production value and maybe your like general interest, would you be interested in following Jack Ryan or John Clark?
I would like to see more John Clark because I feel like Jack Ryan has been done to death.
Okay.
So yeah, I give it like a 4 or 5 out of 10.
Okay.
As an overall movie.
Yeah, I was just interested because I could hear based on your synopsis, though choppy, it sounded like you knew you were lacking of sleep, but it sounded like somebody who had actually read the book or knew something about it. And I knew that this was an origin story, so I kind of knew that they were trying to establish a lot of stuff. So who knows if how many of these we're going to get? Because I believe Jack Ryan with John Krasinski, I think we got 4 movies out of it, something like that.
With John Krasinski, it's a series.
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Wait, I thought it was a movie.
No, well, there's a Jack Ryan TV or movie.
Yeah, yeah, but that was with Chris Pine, I think.
Yeah, there's Chris Pine one. There's other movies too, right? That's featuring Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that's like the Sum of All Fears of Ben Affleck, and then all the ones with Harrison Ford.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he's Jack Ryan. Those are Jack Ryan stories.
I thought all of their name was just Jack. I didn't know that their last name was Ryan.
All y'all sound related.
White dude.
Do these movies eventually tie into The Division or
no? I doubt it.
The video game,
The Division 2, Rainbow Six.
It's like a super team up. It's like the Avengers, but Tom Clancy. It's called the Division.
The Division's Initiative.
Yeah, the Dankness Zone. We got to go to the Dankness Zone, guys.
And for me, I think I'm in the same room with you guys, around 4.5, 5. Just because I feel like they wanted to do much more, but for some reason I felt like they limited themselves, kind of like the Marvel series of TV shows. They're like, okay, we have to do, instead of it being we have to do this in 6 episodes, they're like, we have to do this under 2 hours, and they're like, all right, how do we get from here to here? And I'm like, man, I really wanted to see more stuff of how he kind of developed as some of the other story, except for it just like one X happened, so then Y happened, and then from Y we now go to the rest of the movie, which kind of gets us to the very, very end. Yeah. Felt like a little bit rushed, and I didn't like the fact that the guy I didn't like at the beginning became the guy I was supposed to like. I don't like that.
I didn't like that they cast Guy Pearce as a bad guy again.
Ooh, not my Guy Pearce.
Yeah, I want Guy Pearce. Come on, he's Guy Pearce.
Yeah. So I mean, the only villain he was really supposed to be a villain of was Memento, but you know.
Was he a villain in Memento?
Was he?
I mean, I guess are we not all the villains of our own stories?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I think we're gonna have to call it. No spoilers on today. We're just gonna end the podcast.
Wait, I got so many things to talk about.
Okay. All right, just promise you won't do that again.
I won't. It took a lot out of me
just for today. Whatever. Okay. All right, we're gonna go into the spoiler zone. We haven't done this in a while, so just bear with us because I may fall over. So spoiler zone now.
Yeah, spoiler zone. Okay, so this is probably the first and only time I'll ever be able to sound smart about stuff in a movie. So I think we can probably, I don't know, maybe you guys agree. One of the big things I think was a detractor to this movie was the involvement of all these extra characters. Trying to kind extra? Of everyone who was not John Kelly is basically an extra. Because the book, it's following John Kelly and everyone else is just kind of like a auxiliary piece. But then you're trying, like, even in like all the firefights, you have all these random people you don't really care about, you don't really know them,
you just have names.
You're just kind of there, you don't really have any tie to them. So, and of course none of that stuff happens in the book with all these like squad based firefights, because really the book is really just about kind of him and his revenge arc to what happens.
See, that's what I wanted to watch.
That's why I gave it such a low score. As the only thing that was true to the book, other than some of the names, was a very brief moment in the beginning when he is after his wife dies and he goes out kind of reconning that one Russian dude. Mm-hmm. Is that he takes his clothes off, pisses on him, and pours alcohol over himself and walks around like he's drunk.
Damn, that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, a homeless person.
That was the only part that was true to the book, because that was his way of kind of surveying the city he was in without being kind of drawing attention to himself. So, and that's how he snuck up on people to kill, or that's how he got close to him, is that he was just pretending he was a drunk guy and would get up on him and do his thing. But
it also gave us the best plot device for Michael B. Jordan to take off his shirt again.
Oh man.
Yep, that's true.
Oh wait, sorry, I wasn't supposed to get Ben started too quick. Say something else before
too late.
Ben. Go fan yourself off.
There.
So, and then going back to the thing I said earlier about this movie being very kind of whitewashed and watered down to kind of, I guess, to allow for broader audience consumption, which really makes me sad because, come on, we're all adults here. We can deal with heavy stuff, can't we? Like, for example, in the book, Pam, John's wife, is not his wife at all. She's a prostitute. And she is killed by some drug dealer slash pimps who actually beat and rape and strangle her to death.
Oh,
that's how she dies.
Wow. When
so
do
the
they
gunshot? That is way more civil.
When do they introduce that they are part of the Russian government?
Never. The Russian government is there is a Russian government arc in the book, but it has nothing to do with his revenge arc.
Oh.
So you're saying that he goes full John Wick on these drug dealers instead because they kill this prostitute who is or is not pregnant?
She is not pregnant.
Wait, so why does he care so much about this prostitute?
So to give you just a quick, I'll try to blast through this part as fast as possible. So the way it's set up, John Kelly, he's still a soldier and everything. He's out of course, this was written in the time of like Vietnam. So he's out of Vietnam. He's a civilian. He's working as an underwater demolitions guy, blowing stuff up. But then one day his wife, he does have a wife and a kid, and I believe she is pregnant, or he already has a kid. But she is killed in a car accident.
Oh, geez.
And so that kind of sets up like the book. But then after as he's like in his depression spiral, he encounters this prostitute. He doesn't know she's a prostitute, but he encounters her, and she kind of like helps him to kind of like feel it, like kind of like reattach to like humanity again or whatever, trying to like regain like his humanity, because he's just kind of his wife and kid were killed in a car accident. He lost everything basically. So that's what, she kind of like helps him get out of that. And eventually he does. And they're kind of like have like a relationship, and some stuff happens where they go back into the city and they get spotted by her old pimp, drug dealer guy. And she gets captured again. And then all that stuff happens to her.
Oh boy.
They also try to kill him. So, that's also, so that kind of sets it up. So that to me is, a much more darker, much grimmer kind of arc to this story. But again, if you try to show that on Amazon Prime.
Well, I mean, Amazon Prime is The Boys.
That's true.
And it's also rated R, but I guess they wanted to make this more mainstream, acceptable, I guess. And they also modernized it, right? I mean...
Yeah. Obviously, it's not in Vietnam, so...
Maybe this is his beginning, and then the next one we have this book.
No, because
Spiral.
No, because I mean, Pam was a prostitute. She was a prostitute who was a prostitute because she kind of ran away from an abusive home and kind of got caught up in the classic young girl in a city all by herself, gets picked up by pimp, gets them hooked on drugs, and there you go. Bob's your uncle. But yeah, there's a lot more darker stuff that happened in the book. Greer, who is kind of like almost like his sister in this movie, is an old man, like an admiral. So in the book, so
well, that's why they said it was Karen Greer's dad, right? That they knew a lot of like stories about and stuff like that.
But that's also like, well, James Greer, which would have been her dad or grandpa or whatever. He would have been like that. So I don't know. What else was different? Any guys have any questions that maybe I could field?
Well, I mean, just a statement here. I am very disappointed that based off your description, we did not lean into this darker story.
I know, right?
That's very upsetting. It sounds like it would have been a really good, like Without Remorse, Michael B. Jordan, Depression Spiral, goes on revenge. That's something I would be really into.
Right.
But
the movie had very little Without Remorse scenes, and I mean that not by scenes from the book, but scenes where he's acting without remorse.
Yeah.
Like
we had like moments of it for sure, but it wasn't like this prevailing overarching kind of like umbrella that kind of just like just encapsulated everything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I literally, by the time the movie ended, I asked Letty, I'm like, why was this movie called Without Remorse? There was very little to do with that.
Well, I think if anything, they probably were like, well, he has no remorse because he has also no hesitation on killing anybody who stands in the way of him and his truth.
He only killed like one guy, though.
His wife Pam.
Yeah, he only really did kill one guy.
Like one guy in a without remorse kind of fashion, when he was in the car when it was set on fire. I mean, scene was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that scene. That was cool.
But that was the only scene that he acted without remorse. That's why I'm saying, like, the introduction and having all these extra characters did a disservice to it, because in the book he's mostly acting alone. Or no, not mostly. He's pretty much entirely acting alone.
Wait, okay, I do have a question. Was there a lot of chess metaphors in the book?
Chess, like playing chess?
Pawns and kings.
No.
A pawn can't kill a king. I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
I was a pawn chasing a pawn chasing a king.
Some ding-dong who works for whoever made this movie thought that'd be a cool thing to port Ramrod into this movie, so I guess...
Wait, Ramrod's in this movie?
I wish.
Team Ramrod.
Team Ramrod. Ramathorn.
But what was I say? So, like, an example of, like, the in the book, as far as, like, how much darker it gets, or how much more without remorse it gets, is that one of the guys he captures, who is mainly responsible for trying to kill him and then also killing the girl that he kind of just fell in love with, he gets him into a steel tube, like a human-sized kind of steel tube that's used for, like, training for, like, getting acclimating to pressure underwater. He gets him in there and he's interrogating him, and every time, like, he to get the answers out of him, he'll increases the pressure in the tube.
Oh, hyperbaric chamber?
Yeah, or it's either he increases it or he decreases it, but basically to the point where, like, he starts to, like, his body starts to, like, fall apart, like, come apart at a cellular level. Kind of, pretty much, like, whatever happens, like, it's like a severe case of the bends, like if you surface from underwater too fast, like, it's basically doing that to him over and over, until the point where, like, he's just a bloody, like, quivering mass of human. Ooh. So,
see, that'd been really cool.
It would have been.
We had the thing.
Yeah, it would have been just get what's his name in on the special effects, and we're good.
Cronenberg,
yeah, there you go. But yeah, I was sad by the watering down of this movie. Although I do hope, at the end it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna do Rainbow Six now. Please at least do that right.
Okay, so I heard that there was a credit scene, but by the time that I got to the credits, I just turned off the TV. And then I did read up saying, like, oh, there's an after credit scene. I was just so disinterested that I didn't even go look into it.
Yeah, it was basically just him coming back to Washington, and Ritter that is there, and he's the head of the CIA now, and he's like, I want to start a team full of people from all over the world.
The Suicide Squad.
I'm going to call it Rainbow.
What are we, some sort of Rainbow Six?
How many people will be in it? 5? No, 6.
I don't like that. It has to be an even number.
No, 6.
So everyone is just racing to start their own cinematic or multimedia universe at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, for Tom Clancy, is like, there's tons of source material. You could make tons of seasons of different series and probably make a ton of money, but they kind of blew it, I feel, with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they split this up, like what you're saying, into a TV show, much darker, I think it would have done probably a lot better,
Yeah.
I mean, The Boys could do it. Why can't this?
Right. Does Amazon own the rights to all the Tom Clancy stuff?
I hope not.
Because I think maybe, yeah, but I think Ben's right. Like, The Boys was able to get away with it. They should be able to do something along those lines. But I guess we'll find out if it sticks.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost 800 pages of book, and you try to cram that into one movie. I don't know. It's not going to work.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that Ritter turned out to be the good guy.
See,
that's a jerk in the beginning. He was supposed to stay in the book. Was he a jerk in the beginning?
No,
was he
that's the other thing that bothered me is that Ritter he's not introduced as like anything. This fucking sniveling like Weasley little like, CIA guy. He's actually like, he's a little mysterious, but he's not like, there's no like notion of him being like deceptive to his own kind of team, I guess.
Or he has his own like motive or like some other thing he's trying to establish.
Yeah, I feel like anything he did in the book, it was always like, it was pretty transparent with whoever he's working with. Like he wasn't trying to obscure anything from the people he worked with. But I guess it seems like a pretty common formula.
Maybe they'll reboot it after the movie, and they'll just say, you know what, we'll do a TV series, but instead of Michael B. Jordan, we're gonna put Donald Glover in.
I mean,
I'm just trying to see where Ben's alliances lie.
Yeah, I mean, I love Don Glover. But Michael B. Jordan, man. Whew.
All right. Well, Ben's fanning himself off. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add before
myself off?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to wrap this one up. All right, guys. That'll do us for this episode, guys. Our movie of the week next week. Any suggestions?
I don't even know what's coming out.
Oh boy. Wrath of Man, which is the
wait, you were like hinting at this earlier, like, come on, Stuart, guess the movie that's coming out next week. What was it?
Oh, I guessed it was supposed to be me saying Nobody, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, really?" And then be like, "No, it's Mugen Train." That's what I was guessing.
That's coming out next week.
No. The movie that's coming out next week was Wrath of Man. I didn't know what you were talking about. But you're talking about the 14th. I'm talking about this week. Wrath of Man. It's a Guy Ritchie film with Jason Statham. I feel like
another revenge movie.
Yeah, it's another revenge movie. It's more John Wick-esque.
Well, I guess we'll see. Is it based on a book? I'm not going to read it.
I'm done reading books.
Yeah, it took a lot out of me to try to read an entire book cover to cover.
And was the
just keep finding books that he has to read.
I guess is that the only movie I guess that's out?
Wrath of Man comes out next week. Is that it?
Or this week, you mean?
Or this week, sorry. May 7th. Yeah.
Oh god, Ben's turning into a robot.
It's okay. We don't really need him. He already gave us his gushing review of Michael B. Jordan.
Oh man, let me tell you how I gush about Michael B. Jordan.
If you guys can understand him, it's because he's still wiping himself off.
Wipe yourself off. You dead.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
There's like nothing coming out this week, is there?
Next week is where we're going to start seeing some stuff coming out.
Oh
next
god.
Couple weeks after that will be pretty.
Got caught with our pants down.
So,
is there something that we skipped over that we can go back and watch?
Wow, you really don't seem like you want to watch Wrath of Man.
I guess
I thought it's not out till next week.
No, it's on the 7th. Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, catch us next week as we review Wrath of Man. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, but we are also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to also check us out on Twitch. It is the twitch.tv/Dos we stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had Ben join us last week, finally back in the regular rotation. Guys, I think that'll do it for us here. As always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
I'm Ben.
Don't forget to tip your Reiki masters. Stay safe out there. Stay 6 feet away from each other. Wash your hands, and we will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.
Bye.